The TOEFL reading section is 72 minutes long and there are 30 to 40 questions. The reading section in the TOEFL exam pattern consists of 3 to 4 passages that test your ability to read the text, understand the meaning, and deliver the correct answer. The passages involve topics based on everyday issues. Question types. In each test, there are 10 specific question types. By knowing what type of question it is, will make it much easier to answer. Vocabulary. The word in paragraph 2 is closest in meaning to. Facts. According to paragraph 4, what? Which of the following? It is stated in paragraph 4 that. Negatives. All of the following are mentioned in paragraph 3 except. Which of the following is not mentioned? Meaning. What can be inferred from paragraph 5 about? Paragraph 5 implies that. Paragraph 5 suggests. Author's intent. In paragraph 6, the author discusses in order to. Why does the author mention? Simplify a sentence. Which of the sentences below best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence in paragraph 4? Insert text. In paragraph 2, there is a missing sentence. Where would the sentence best fit? Reference. The word in paragraph 1 refers to. Summary. An introductory sentence for a brief summary of the passage is provided below. Complete the summary by selecting the 3 answer choices that express the most important ideas in the passage. Organization. Complete the table below to summarize information about in the passage. Match the appropriate statements to. By practicing these questions, you will have clarity on how to find the best answer. Make sure to read each question carefully. Pay special attention to any specific instructions. Before taking the test, make sure you understand each question type and the strategies for answering them. To measure your progress, take a few practice tests. After checking your answers, take some time to analyze the incorrect answers. Keywords and modifiers. Don't meticulously read every word in a test. Instead, focus on keywords. This is not a test to see how well you can read each word. Rather, skip words that are unimportant and search for answers. Keywords are important words in the question that can help students find answers quickly. What are keywords? Keywords are almost never prepositions, under, in, or articles, a and the. Keywords are almost always verbs, nouns, or adjectives. Proper nouns are almost always keywords. Proper nouns are words that identify a specific person, place, or thing. For example, city is a common noun, but New York City is a proper noun. Also, in multiple choice, students can eliminate wrong answers by paying attention to modifiers. What is a modifier? A modifier is a word, usually an adjective or noun, that changes the meaning of the head noun. The wrong modifier can change the significance of a statement. The best way to understand is to look at a few examples. This event had a tremendous impact. This event had some impact. This event had almost no impact. As you can see, modifiers are an easy way to make a possible choice incorrect. All you have to do is change a single word and it changes the entire meaning of the sentence. This is one of the infamous trap answers in IELTS, TOEFL, and TOEIC tests, so be sure not to fall for the modifier trap. There is a huge difference between tremendous impact and almost no impact. Look for extreme modifiers that tend to make the question false. Extreme modifiers such as always, all, never, or only make it more likely that the question is false. Here is a list of extreme modifiers. All, none, best, absolutely, always, never, worst, absolutely not, only, nobody, everybody, certainly, invariably, no one, everyone, certainly not. Look for clue words and numbers. If 2 answers are opposite, one is probably correct. Answers with the following words are usually incorrect. Always, never, all, must. Qualifying words tend to make a question true. Qualifiers, seldom, often, many, increase the likelihood that a statement is true. Qualifiers include words such as usually, frequently, often, sometimes, some, seldom, many, much, probably, a majority, most, might, a few, may, unlikely. Look for grammatical clues between the question and the choices. For example, the question and the correct answer often have verbs of the same tense and have nouns and verbs that agree. Underline familiar words or phrases from the lecture or textbook. Be aware of degrees of correctness. With numbers, one choice is usually too small or too large. These choices may be eliminated. Word parts. In addition to learning academic vocabulary, it is beneficial to learn the parts of a word. For example, the prefixes, suffixes, and roots of words. Word roots are the core or base of a word, carrying its fundamental meaning. They are usually derived from other languages like Latin or Greek. Many English words are built upon these roots. By understanding the word roots, you can decipher the meanings of unfamiliar words. For example, the root aud means hear in Latin. Words like audio, related to hearing, and audience, a group of people who listen, contains this root. Prefixes are small groups of letters added to the beginning of a word. They change or enhance the meaning of the word. Understanding common prefixes helps in understanding and forming new words. For example, the prefix un added to happy changes the meaning to unhappy, indicating the opposite or negation of happiness. Suffixes are groups of letters added to the end of a word. They also modify the meaning of the word, often indicating the word's part of speech, noun, verb, adjective, and so on, or the tense of the verb. For example, the suffix added to teach forms teacher, indicating a person who teaches. By recognizing and understanding word roots, prefixes, and suffixes, you can break down unfamiliar words into smaller parts and comprehend their meanings more easily. This knowledge also helps in building your vocabulary and forming new words by combining different word parts. Some more examples include circum, go around, circumvent, dia, through, diameter, ex, out of, exposure. Negative words or prefixes complicate the statement. The prefixes un, in, miss will alter the meaning of the statement. I put a list of word parts in the description which you can download for free. Paraphrasing. During the test, there are some difficult words that they might use in the text, but use a synonym when asking a question. Some examples include historical sites, tourist attractions, hotel, accommodation facility, on a website, through the internet, online, venue, place or location, phone number, contact information, contract, agreement, additional fee, extra charge, clothing, apparel, garment, outfit. By recognizing the different ways a question and answer are related by paraphrasing will help you understand the relationship and have a better chance at answering correctly. Practice with short passages. To learn how to compose sentences, short paragraphs, and short answers, look for some college textbooks, language books, or online reading material with follow-up questions after each story or chapter. Breaking News English is a wonderful website for this because it has a library of news articles, all followed by questions. If your favorite book doesn't include questions, ask ChatGPT to make some questions or ask a friend or teacher to create some for you. Read the stories or chapters carefully. Don't just pay attention to the storyline and main ideas, but also examine the vocabulary, sentence structures, and grammatical features used. By observing and analyzing the English language, you will improve your understanding and can use what you have learned in your reading skills. Don't forget to take notes while reading. Who are the characters? What is the main idea? What happened? These are all questions you want to know the answers to. Underline and circle words or passages that you find important. Once you have read the text, answer the questions. Review your answers before checking the correct answer. Reading speed. Time is of the essence when it comes to taking an English test like IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEIC. In fact, your ability to pace yourself can make or break your final score. In other sections, Time is specifically called out. For example, if you are speaking, you will have 15 seconds to prepare an answer and 45 seconds to record it. In the listening section, you can only hear the dialogue when it's played to you. The reading section is where a sense of time and pace will need to come from you and you alone. You need to judge how much time you have left to complete the readings and give your answers. This is trickier than it seems because you will be faced with not one difficult to answer text, but several. If you want more time to answer the questions, you will need to read each passage in just 4 or 5 minutes. And you're probably going to want to read each passage more than once. That's tough. To succeed, you'll need to start improving your reading speed. Time yourself as you study for the test and note how long it takes to read through a given passage. You will notice that you slow down when your level of comprehension drops down, and that's normal. Everyone reads at a different pace. Your task is to make your reading pace slightly faster for the very specific test-taking situation, so you can switch gears and go into full speed mode if you need to. Apart from studying academic passages, be sure to read other English language material as well. Read English literature, newspapers, and magazines. Reading a variety of English writing styles will help improve your reading speed, comprehension speed. Once you have worked on your reading speed and are comfortable speed reading a complex English passage in less time, you are ready for the next step. Now you need to learn how to remain calm and avoid stressing out when you encounter an unfamiliar word. The reading section will be full of challenging words that you have not seen before. They put in challenging words that you probably don't know on purpose. The reading section will ask you to deduce meaning and infer information from words you probably don't understand. This is what the reading section is actually testing. Not your ability to memorize a dictionary before the test, but your skill at dealing with vocabulary words that you don't know. Not knowing a word is not only normal, but is expected from speakers of English as a foreign language. When you stumble across a word you don't understand, your first reaction might be to check Google Translate or consult a dictionary. When these tools aren't available, you may panic and get hung up on trying to understand the word, wasting time that is extremely valuable during the test. Well, relax. Force yourself to skip that unknown word and continue reading. Often, you will find that the meaning of the whole text is easy to understand, even if you didn't understand a few words. Annotate. Learn to write down notes while reading. When a student tells me that he or she gets bored, zones out, and can't finish a reading passage on time, I can cure them 9 out of 10 times with a specific annotation strategy. Students don't have the time to do hardcore annotations like we might normally teach in English class, but they can likely annotate main ideas. Namely, I ask the students to circle a word or phrase in each paragraph that pinpoints what the paragraph is about. The benefits of this includes circles pop more than underlines, especially when using a pencil. You now have a visual trail of the structure of the text. The passage is now easier to skim when going back to find a text-dependent answer. Now that you have been actively paying attention for the main idea, filtering out things that are less important, and can now answer main idea multiple choice questions more easily. Annotating also causes less zoning out due to active reading, and fewer minutes overall spent reading due to better focus. In addition to circling keywords, try to only underline whatever you feel is important. Many students underline too much so that they have difficulty seeing what's important. Context. Scan the reading content. Scanning the content is the first step that you need to do on the reading part of an English test. The second step is to identify the topic of the content and pick out specific details. Next step is to find the keywords in the text and summarize the main idea of content. Find the synonyms. Improving English vocabulary skill is an essential factor that brings good results for a test. While you are studying and find some words that you don't know, look up the synonyms. This will help you understand the meaning of the words and also build a strong vocabulary. For example, when you read a sentence that says, "The professor looks annoyed," and you don't know what annoyed means, look up synonyms for annoyed. Match the questions to the text. Once you are done with reading the text, the next step is to move on to the questions of the test. It is very important to find the points of the questions. Usually the questions have some clues that might help you choose the correct answers. When you have figured out the points, move on to the text again and skim and scan the whole passage that matches those points. Read the questions carefully. One of the most common mistakes people make is that they don't read the questions in the test carefully. As I said before, the questions might have keywords or answers, and sometimes questions are deliberately designed to make test takers confused. Make sure to understand the questions with precision. Trust your instincts. Sometimes students will become confused between a right answer and the best possible answer. When they find a right answer, it literally means that there is only one correct answer. However, when they find the best possible answer, there might be several correct answers. You need to guess and find the best possible answers based on the facts in context. In this process, learn to trust your instincts. Question tips. Before you read the passage, skim through and underline important information. Then, before you start answering, take a quick look at the questions first. Remember that questions appear in groups of 3 or 4, so read those questions before studying the text. Make sure to highlight key information in the questions, and since you've skimmed the passage and identified all the keywords, it will make it easier to find the answers. Questions follow the same order as the paragraphs, so the first question's answer will be around the top of the reading passage, with each question's answer appearing in order. Answer every question. This is age-old advice that every teacher routinely tells their learners. Students have to answer every question, even if they cannot find the answer or right option. If you don't answer, it's an automatic 0. But if you make an educated guess, there's a chance it might be right. Check answers once you are done and have time left. Try to answer all the questions and leave 15 minutes for checking. That can help improve your reading score. The reading section of English language tests requires focused practice and the development of specific strategies. By following these 10 tips, you can enhance your reading skills, improve comprehension, and perform better in the IELTS, TOEFL or TOEIC tests. Remember to skim the passage first, identify keywords, and actively read for comprehension. With consistent effort and targeted preparation, you can excel in the reading section and achieve a high score.